I'm really happy to be able to talk about this in a way because I will never go back to pest control ever.
Getting started with Terminex. How did things end there? And I do think I remember you telling me it was either that or your first time leaving Orkin. I remember kind of one of them.
Terminex was more of I don't know. It was really just put in my notice, and that was kind of it. Like there was no even like when I went to drop off the truck. Like they weren't even at the shop, so it was kind of just like hand off my keys, like put in like the little drop box.
And you gave them a 2-week notice.
Yeah, and that was it. I mean,
they didn't try to keep you or anything.
Nope. It was just do you stops for it.
Okay.
And that was it.
So. Let's go to Orkin the first time leaving there. This was the one with the branch manager?
That was the one with the branch manager where I put in my 2 weeks and then he tried to get rid of me right away.
Did he say anything when you came back?
That was him and I had a little sit down, and it was just like, we had a little situation when you were here last where we probably should have got a job done when we didn't. And if you come back, we really need to get these jobs done. He was still complaining about the ladder situation. And at this point, this is 9 months after that job was even a thing. Wow. So it's just like, whatever. And that's just like, all right, dude, whatever. Just nod and get through it, type of thing. So
yeah, is working in pest control hard video. I guess you kind of got into the end the first time.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess any other details to add for leaving. So what was the time distance between leaving Orkin the first time and then restarting with them or going back?
It was only a couple months. Because I got in a job that on paper was a lot different than what it was supposed to be when I had actually started there. So I wasn't.
What was different about it?
The only thing, so like on Indeed, the pay was what it was,
my God.
But like the whole description of what the actual job was, and then when you go for the interview and you do the walk around and stuff like that, it's like, oh yeah, this is a pretty cool job, and then it's a completely fucking different job when you actually start, type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, and like I'm somebody where you lie to me, that's kind of just it, right?
Yeah.
And so I was already kind of just out the door. And so then I was kind of figuring it out and just kind of working and doing my thing and stuff. And then I had talked with a buddy I had made with Orkin and stuff. We were just playing video games one night, and he's just like, yeah, you want to come back? And I was like, I'll think about it. And then they threw a little cash at me, so I went back.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then let's get into leaving there the second time. What did the branch manager say? I gotta know his thoughts. As soon as you put in the 2-week notice.
Oh, I didn't put in my 2-week notice.
Oh, okay.
I quit. No, I just quit.
Okay. Let's hear the story.
Because the way I saw it was, you're just gonna fire me anyway if I put the 2-week notice in. So that's when I went to go to car sales, and I was just like, you know what? You're just going to fire me anyway, so I'm just going to work all the way up until I'm going to start car sales like the day before. I was like, hey, just so you know, today's my last day. And I was just like, what? I had told my service manager, though, that I was done. I was like, look, between you and me, I'm done. And they're like, you can tell Rich if you want to, and you guys can fire me, but I'm telling you because, we're pretty cool. Because me and him, because for me, I was paid by the hour. Yeah. I was not in a rush to get jobs done, but I was doing my jobs properly and efficiently, right? You kind of ride that line. And he would call me, and we would just talk for like an hour sometimes. Or I'd fly back to the shop when I had nothing to do within a certain window. And him and I would just BS about video games and chill out and talk trash. And stuff. So him and I were tight. So I told him, I was like, hey, look, I'm done here pretty quick and stuff like that. And I had kind of got a feeling that the branch manager wanted to fire me anyway. So he was looking for any reason, right? If I was 10 minutes late, because he didn't want me to come back as it was. The other guys did.
Yeah.
So if I was late to an appointment, he wanted to try and start something. If I took a day off, it was just, I don't know if we can really give you a day off here. That type of BS.
Oh, my God.
So I knew my days were numbered as it was. So I was just like, you know what? You get what you wanted, so here you go. Type of thing.
So was the branch manager a dick to like other people too, or just you?
He liked some, like.
So he had his favorite.
He had his favorites for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and then like, we had one Saturday a month we had to work. When it was his Saturday, he was supposed to be working, and then we were out in the field and doing stuff or whatever. He wasn't actually working, and everybody knew it. He never showed up to the branch. He never did what he needed to do. And it was always like, if you called him because you needed something, it was, oh, sorry, I missed the phone call. What'd you need? It's like, dude, that was 2 days ago. It's like, I don't need you anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, it's one of those things.
Well, yeah, I guess let's just go to Green X then. Last days there. So
Yeah.
Green X, didn't you kind of leave there to go back to car sales, or?
Yeah. Well, it's just more. Actually, that was more just warehouse. More stable work, because that towards the end of that was the boss where you give him the earth and the moon, and he still wants more. And he was just being an absolute d-bag, constantly, and stuff. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm good. And that's where I just gave him the keys, and then I walked away from pest control forever. Essentially, I never went back because it was just.
So did you give him a notice?
No,
just gave him the keys to the van, and
because I was working from 6 in the morning to like 8 o'clock at night,
so
all throughout the
short
week.
Staffed?
No, he's just overworking us and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, hey, the money will come, type of thing. It's like I'm working so much overtime where all of my check is basically going to taxes. I'm basically getting $2 an hour at this point. I don't care. So yeah, it was just here's the keys. I'm good. I'm done. So I gave him the keys. I called an Uber and I went home. So
nice. What about, was there any jobs towards the end of any of these places you worked for where you were where it just went shitty and you were like, yeah, I don't know if this is for me, or I'm done with this, or?
It was more like
because I know a couple times, okay, you had a better opportunity someplace else.
Yeah.
But what about?
For the most part, it was better opportunities. I think the only time where I legitimately thought that this just wasn't it was actually probably more like Terminex, because there was no training, right? It was, I went in, they gave you a book, and it was like, hey, you have a test in 2 weeks. They also flew me out to St. Louis to do like this training thing that really wasn't really a training thing.
No.
But it was, you passed the test. Oh, cool, you passed the test. Here you go. Here's truck keys. Here's your chemical. Sent you on your way. And it was like this little handset that's from like the 80s that you're trying to like move stuff around and schedule stuff and do all this. It was super confusing. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know like how to spray anything. It was like there was no guidance on the job, right? And so for me, it was just like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like,
how long were you there?
Only like 2 months. because it's like I got through training and I was on my own for like a month, like total, and I was like, I don't even know how to do the job. So yeah, I was just like I was like kind of overwhelmed by it too, because it's like I have like 300 some customers to do in a month, and I don't even know if I'm doing it right.
That'll be a good clip.
You know, and like I would call my bosses, it would go to voicemail, and it's just like, oh, okay, you know, and like for a lot of stuff, because Terminix did both commercial and residential, and in commercial stuff there was a lot of rules, like of what you could spray and what you couldn't spray. I was never told these rules, so I didn't know if I was spraying anything or not. And like a lot of it is, you take your flashlight and just looking, just look. That's all you were supposed to do. I didn't know that, you know. So there was no, this is how you do the job. There's no training, which was really frustrating, to just be handed keys and to just go and do it type of thing. Now I've heard it's a whole lot different. Obviously the managers are probably gone.
Yeah.
So I have heard that it's different now.
Terminix.
Yeah, well I don't even think Terminix is a thing. I think they were bought.
Oh.
So there is that too. But then when I went to Orkin, you know, I had 2 weeks of training, and then I actually knew how to do the job. So I was like, okay, and then it was fine, right? I did a couple ride-alongs, and yeah, so, but yeah, no.
Do you remember any jobs at the end where you just half-assed it real hard because you just did not care?
I mean, I half-assed a lot of stuff.
So it started before the 2 weeks. Because okay, you explained Terminex, you didn't know what you're. What about Orkin or Greenex?
Oh yeah, I mean,
at the
like,
end, that was just, I'm done tomorrow or in 2 days. I don't give a fuck.
Bye. 100%. Look, because it's also like the early 20s, like. You left me on my own. I don't really care at this point. You know, I'll walk around with a little flashlight and look like I'm doing something. I don't know. I have a headphone in. I'm listening to a podcast. So it was kind of one of those things.
I guess the last thing to ask, once you were done working at any of these places, once you were done with the last day, going home,
yep.
Did you feel relief? Were you excited to be done? Just relieved?
I'll say this. I'm really happy to be able to talk about this in a way, because I will never go back to pest control. Ever.
0%.
0%. I could lose my really nice job that I got now and be on unemployment for like 2 weeks or whatever, losing my mind. I won't go back to pest control. It's not something that
not
I
in the
want
cards.
to go. I don't want to go backwards to that. Ever again.
You wouldn't pull like a Falcon with Walmart or Goodwill?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I would never go back to it. Hey, like I said in the last video, right? It's a good job, early 20s, to be, learn the cities, you learn how, to do better customer service and to be on your own and kind of work for yourself in a way. But I would never go back to it. Never.
Did you ever tell people you were in pest control and they thought certain things of you? I don't know why I'm asking this, but it just popped in my head. Did anyone assume you were dirty, messy?
Oh, 100%. I mean, there is definitely a little bit of a stigma to it, because it's like, oh, you're going around killing bugs type of thing. If you ever watch the old cartoons, the Exterminator is always the bad guy, and he always looks fucking gross and stuff like that, right? But I remember I was talking to this one coworker chick, when I was selling cars. And we were just talking about past jobs and stuff like that. And she's never done anything crazy. It was like a waitress and like doing odds and ends stuff. And I was talking, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't think I would ever have dated anybody who worked at Pest Control or was an exterminator." I was like, "Okay, it's not like we're like dirty, or, like never washed my hands type of thing, you know." Not that I would have ever gone that way, but there is definitely that stigma a little bit to exterminators and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, otherwise, any other memories from the last days that we should talk about, or is that about it?
I think that's about it. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
It was just kind of a blur at the end?
A little bit of a blur at the
All
end.
right. If you haven't already, check out the other videos on pest control. Again, this was just to wrap the series up.
Yep.
We'll be moving on to bigger and better here soon.
Way bigger and better.